Hello, this is Miss Janelle with the Ella Johnson Library here for a Little Stitches video. We are going to be doing some weaving today on a cardboard loom. In the kit that you'll pick up from the library, you will have your cardboard loom, a variety of yarn in different colors, your plastic needle, and some cotton thread for the warp. The first thing that you're going to need to do to start your weaving is you need to put the warp onto the cardboard loom. So the warp is the up and down lines on your loom. So what you'll need in addition to what comes in the kit is some tape and some scissors. So what you'll do is you're going to tape one end to the back of your loom, like so. And then you're going to weave the cotton thread over top. Now you're going to want to make sure that you have an even amount of string. And you don't have to do every single notch in here. You can go every 2, every 3. And you just want to make sure that you go directly across. You can see I actually went 4 in, so I'm going to make sure that I go 3 in. And it's okay if it's a little bit tilted, as long as you have the same number of notches. So I'm going to go the next 3. Across, you have 1, 2, 3. And you're going to keep doing that all the way until you get to the end. And then you will tape the ends. Now that you have your warp all done, we're going to start weaving the weft. Now inside of your kit, you also have this cheat sheet of different weaving techniques. So we're going to start with a very, very standard tabby weaving, which is just going over, under, over, under, over, under. But you can try out any one of these weaving techniques that you'd like, and I'll even show you how to make a little bit of fringe. So for this one, at the top here, this is the standard tabby weaving. You can see I started on this side, I tied my yarn to it, and then I went over the next one, under the third one, over the fourth one, under the fifth one, over the sixth one, and I looped around the last one, and then I went under. So you can see it's kind of creating a checkerboard pattern. Now for this second row here, I tried a sumac technique, which is wrapping your yarn around the warp. And you can see it creates kind of these little bit of knots. And for this one, I did intersecting layers with the tabby method. So I did across red first, and then I went the other direction doing the tabby method, and I intersected each one. So you can see here, this was the first line, and then I did the second line with space in between it so that when I went back, I could do the black line. And when you squish them together, you can start to kind of build a shape or make blocks, just like that. So I'll show you how we start our weft. I'm just going to take a little bit of my yarn. And you're just going to pass it through the eye of the needle. Like so. And we're not going to tie it off just yet. So for this one, I'm going to start under, over, under, over, under, over that one, under this one. And you pull through. you can cut your yarn and tie it to this. I trimmed the tail on this one, but you can leave the tail long and tuck it back into the weaving. That's usually how you hide the tails. And then for the second line, because we went underneath this one, we're going to go over top of it. Just like that. And you want to keep the line continuous because that's how we keep the piece all together into one shape. Like that. Now if you wanted to switch colors, you could do that. All you have to do is tie your next color yarn to the piece that you're working on so that it goes into a continuous chain. And you can keep going down like this. You can do solid colors, block colors, you could try different pattern techniques. But what I like to do that's pretty fun is to create a fringe on this. So I'm going to scoop these up and I'll show you a fringe technique. So I have my needle still here, and what we're going to do is we're going to pull our yarn like this. See how it hangs there? I'm going to go back again through here. It's going to tie a little knot. Perfect. And then you just cut it to the length you want and go on to the next one. You go behind, come around, go back again. Basically, we're just tying a little knot. And cut the next one. So you should have two pieces hanging down for each one. And you can block your fringe out and do a fringe all the way across or just pieces of fringe. Kind of creates a sort of puffy pom-pom effect on your piece. Now when you're all done, there's a couple different ways you can display your work. You can leave it on your cardboard loom, maybe put a little frame around it, that would be just fine. Another technique you can do is to take a stick and to tuck it underneath all of your string like this. So what will happen is when you take your yarn off your loom, it's going to have a little bit of a loop. And so it'll hang on there kind of like a curtain on a curtain rod. And then you can come to the bottom and you'll cut across the bottom one at a time, tie the front to the back and go to the next one. You want to do it slowly because if you cut all the pieces off at once, what will happen is your weaving will start to shift and move and then it won't be straight or you might lose a few stitches off the bottom. So always make sure you leave about 1/4 of an inch or more at the top and bottom so that when you go to finish your piece, you're not losing thread or when you tie it, it's not shifting up or down. The other option, if you don't want to hang it, if you want to do kind of a coaster style or a rug style, you can do a cut to the top and the bottom. It will leave a little bit of fringe, which is perfectly fine, just like a rug, or you can tuck the fringe into the weaving so that it doesn't show. And you can do that with any tails as well. And it's really simple. You just kind of find another gap in the weaving and sort of just tuck it underneath behind the side that you aren't going to show so that it's hidden. And that's as simple as it is to do weaving on a cardboard loom. I hope you had fun with me, and I can't wait to see what you make. Send us a picture. We'll see you later at the library.